Hey guys, this is Jen from ScanNCut Canvas and Scal Help on Facebook. There is the mandala that I designed. It's got an awful lot of holes and really cool stuff in it, okay? I do not know how well the DX is going to handle this. This is going to be our first time trying it. I have 10 mil mylar sheets. This stuff is really, really thick. And from what I was reading in the review section of this actual product, people that own the Silhouette and the Cricut cannot actually cut this on their machines. Every single person, anyhow, that left a review said that the 10 mil was way too thick, and they had to get a lower mil. So of course, as soon as I seen that, you know how Jen's mind thinks, I had to buy it because I had to test it on my machine. And I'm making floor stencils. This one I went ahead and bought because it was just gigantic and I loved it and it was beautiful. So instead of copying someone's design and using it, I just went ahead and bought theirs. So this is actually going to be one of the stencils that I apply to my floor and paint. That's going on the other channel. But this one I'm going to make using my ScanNCut. And let's pull out one of these 12 by 12s because that's all the bigger I'm making it. It's a 12 by 12. And then I'm going to plan out how I'm actually going to do my stencil design, but that's later. Now remember, you can leave your media hang off the bottom of your mat. Alright, you don't have to worry about it being too long down this way. Okay, so it can hang off down here. That's no problem whatsoever. But because this is so thick, 10 mils is thick stuff. Now, don't confuse it with millimeters. This is 10 mils thick, which just means it's really sturdy stuff to make your stencils out of. It's a lot thicker than the .007, my James Bond is what I call it, acetate. And that's what I wanted because I'm going to be using it on a floor. So I'm going to be down there, I'm going to be doing that type of stencil, constantly picking it up and moving it. It's not going to be on a table, you know, doing easy stencils that way. Okay, so, and this is how she falls off of that and lands on my machine. Have her get up there and stay there. Poopy, you bad girl. But let's load this into the machine. And I'm probably going to have to move this again. Sorry. Okay. Because I need to have access to the machine. And yes, I do have the 12 by 24 mats. But I figured it's just easier to cut it on the 12 by 12 since that's what the design is. See? Just loaded one of my non-loading mats. No problem. By doing the old stuff. The old stuff and load. Okay. So here is my design. And you see it's pretty complicated. And I designed this in ScanNCut a lot. What I did is I put all of my pieces together and built them up. I went in and I did path unions, and then in the end, before I exported this, I went in and I did an object merge. Okay, so that then turned all of these lines into one single line. Alright, so now I need to make sure this stuff is stuck down really well to my zig mat. That's all I use is zig tack. Okay, okay, okay. Please select cut. Now the pressure. Pressure I have at -5. I'm going to bring it up. We'll do it at a -3 right now. Okay. And I'm going to hit start. I have in the black blade. Okay, my little lever over here is set to 1. My back piece is pulled out and it is going through and it's going to cut. How many times? I don't know. But there are a lot of tiny small pieces in this file. So I really want to see how this machine is going to handle this. You'll hear that black tab in there clicking every time the mat gets next to it. That's just something that Brother has decided to throw in there. But that does bend the corner of my mat up there. But we're going to give this time to cut. I'll keep track of how many times it cuts. My speed is always going to be at a 1, especially for things like this. Being a super thick media. Well, I shouldn't say super thick, but a tough media for that blade to get through. So with that being that way, if I have my speed real high and that media's going, or that blade's going through there, guarantee you it's going to break it. Okay, so I want my speed low, my pressure low, so that my blade has time to move in there and turn without snapping. All right, so we'll be back. Holy cow smacks, 71 minutes left. This is a pattern that definitely would have kicked out, saying that there was too many lines had I not object merged it. This is looking great, except for, however, and I'll show you when this is done, something happened with the second time through on this outer edge of the outline. Everything else looks fine, so I'm not quite sure what happened here. Like I said, again, we'll take a look at it when I finally pull it off. It wasn't cut through that part, so that's good. But again, we'll have a look when it's done in 71 minutes. And real quick, and I think what the issue may have been that actually caused this to change paths is the fact that I went in and actually adjusted the pressure. I took it down. So the pressure went from, what I have it at, a -3, I think. I took it down to a -6 because I was worried about the very small intricate pieces actually breaking my blade, because this media is so tough. So sitting here thinking, I'm like, you know what, wait, I need to decrease that pressure. And what had been cut was just the outline, so when it went through again, it was a different outline. So I'm thinking that's what the variable was the actual change in pressure. So that's just something to consider. So I've been sitting here watching it, and no, it is not me changing the pressure that has caused the machine to switch paths, because it's happened again, actually up in here in the design. So something within the machine, as it cuts further in, you know, repeat after, it repeats 5-6 times, it has again jumped the original path that it has been on. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that, but it has. So the first initial one was just this outside portion, lower portion, but now the inside parts have now done it as well. Why? I do not know. I don't see any at the top that look like they have done the same, so we'll see if we can't figure out maybe why. Because it's not like I have been adding any blade length. Okay, and I actually have the pressure removed to a -6, so this is something that is really starting to bother me, because it's a significant shift. So it's actually changing the design of my own original design. It's significantly off that much, but we'll take a look at it when it stops cutting. And this has happened at an hour into the cutting, because it started at 81 minutes and we are now at 22 minutes. So basically an hour into the cut, this inside portion has shifted the cut. Okay, and for some reason the machine has started cutting back again at another 80 minutes. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with this why it's back in there for another 80 minutes, so basically 160 minutes for this file. I mean, yes, the material's thick, but for Pete's sakes, I've cut metal with my CMs, and it did not take me 160 minutes to cut it. So I don't know if this file has confused the machine. But because I cannot get in there and personally adjust the blade depth utilizing the black auto blade, what may happen is I end up inserting my standard blade and using the manual pressures that you can set on the machine and going at it that way, because this is just a bit much for this file. It should not take this long. It is obvious, however, that, as you can see, it is not cut. So that is possibly why, or it is not cut in most places. That is possibly why it has gone through and started over. But because the file shifted, I'm actually going to stop this. Because the file shifted, it has actually, looks like it is cutting off or cutting up the design. So this might be a scrapped piece as it sits. Yeah, because it's already cut off the piece here. It's cut off that. It has pretty much, yep, cut this off. So yes, unfortunately, because the design shifted, you see it's cut off parts of the design. So that is not good. So this whole entire work is now junk because of the machine shifting the cutting area. So I'm going to grab another sheet, which is very wasteful, but I'm going to apply it. I'm going to lower the pressure even further and see if that will not help with it shifting. Okay, so now you can kind of see the double cut lines. I'm trying to get this focused. Okay, see those double cut lines that are happening all over in here? They almost look like the camera's not focused. It gives you that double cut line all over in this file. So all of those lines, yeah, see, it looks like it's like your eyes are blurry. That's not. That's the double cut lines that have happened in this file. An hour into the cut. And they're everywhere. Even up at the top. Okay? And it's not because my media is not stuck. You can see it is stuck very well to the mat. Let me open this up. It is stuck very well to the mat. But because it did that, it severed pretty much the entire file. So it severed areas, then it didn't cut areas, so not a good outing the first time around. So we're going to see what decreasing the pressure can get for us. Okay, now I have all of these partially severed pieces to remove from here. See, this one is almost starting to do what I referred to as the half cut before Brother came out with a DX and labeled their vinyl cutting half cuts. Cuts really well down in the lower right corner of the machine, but the rest of it won't cut out. Okay, I'll use my scraper on that. But there, look at that. It looks like, see if we can, hang on, look at that. It looks like you're seeing double. That's what the entire file did. Just like jumped. So, and I do not know why, because nothing hit it. Poopy's big butt did not sit on it. None of that stuff. So, that's going to probably just go in the scrap pile. We'll get another piece and start anew. Okay, this time with the brand new sheet loaded. We have 91 minutes, so I'm going to keep a real close eye on this and see what the time is and possibly why it changes. I did not alter anything. I left the pressure alone, so I'm going to see if it'll just behave itself and cut like it is supposed to. Hopefully it does. Okay, we're 30 minutes in and so far so good. I mean, that looks really good. No double lines. Nothing like that. So I'm going to see, and you know, this is just things that go through my mind when I'm trying to work out what could be causing this. Because if it's something within the machine, that is not good. But if it's something outside that could be causing this, that's really not good either, because nothing that is around the machine should be affecting how it cuts. But my big fat cat Poobie was also jumping on the table. So I've thrown her out of the room, but still, that really should not be affecting how this machine cuts. So if it cuts perfectly this time, that is really the only thing that has changed this time cutting. Is her jumping on the table, okay? And this is one of these big 8-foot long plasticky white tables that everybody has at like craft shows or meetings, things like that. But that is literally the only thing that has changed with this cut, okay? It's the same exact media, same blade, same pressure. Every single thing is the same, except for Poobie. 25 minutes left, and we're still looking good with the single lined cut. So far, I'm not wondering if it isn't shaking of the machine that has caused the issues. And you know, if that's the case, that's not a good thing. Because that just should not happen. But we'll see. Okay, so it finished cutting and it all stayed on one line. So I have no idea what happened with the first cut. Seeing how twice it cut off the lines, which isn't good, but knowing that it did not happen the second time around, that's better. But also, why did it happen? Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to come in here and remove all of this from the mat. And I'm going to have to do this very delicately so I don't rip everything. Okay, so here's how I got it off of the mat. Really only one piece came out. It was that one. This one I actually peeled out. So all of the rest of this I am going to have to pop out on my own. Okay, so there's the one single piece laying on my mat. Just come in with your scraper and pop those off. Normally, well, maybe if I went at it the right way. But what you do is you just do what I have always taught people to do, is the roll. Just roll it and pop it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit and hand pick at these using my little tweezer bee tweezers, so that I make sure that I'm not going to rip anything that shouldn't be ripped. Because I personally actually love the way that this turned out. Try to see if I can get you a good view of what this looks like. Let's see here. I know you guys are just so envious of my camera skills. Yes, I'm being sarcastic. So you see how intricate all of that is. It's just going to be very, very pretty and very ornate and intricate. Okay, so I'm going to work at this for a while and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so my overall opinion on this is what I would do is, you can see some of these just pop out really easy, even these super small cuts, okay, and face it, most machines won't even cut this material. This machine not only cuts it, but it cuts these small ones out. However, you get over here to this side, okay, and look, it does not want to release. So with this one, because of the huge design, okay, it took a long time. Yes, I understand that. That has to be fine with me because I know that I want this intricate design and I want it cut on my ScanNCut. I mean, look at the guys, this is super intricate. Okay, so I know that I'm going to put it in, I'm going to let it cut once. When it's finished, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go up and I'm going to let it cut again. Okay, that is just what will work for our ScanNCuts, utilizing 10 mil mylar in this super intricate file. And like I said, I mean, there's some really intricate pieces that just pop out, but then you come to the certain parts of the mat here and there's pieces that aren't quite ready and you just have to apply more pressure. That's what I've been doing, is just applying more pressure, and you can see I've been peeling them out. Okay, so it's something that I can deal with, but if I wanted it to be a lot easier on me, because I'm actually going to make probably 3 layers of this file so that when I stencil it, I'll put down one layer, then come in and put on another layer so I can get different color aspects in my overall stencil on my floor and or on my wall, wherever I choose to use a stencil. Okay, but yeah, so the ScanNCut, even though the Cricut and Silhouette, per their own owners' reviews on Amazon, because that's where I got this 12 by 17.5 inch mylar paper, or mylar I should say, not paper, but mylar pack, they said that they cannot use it in their machines. It will not cut. We can cut this in our machines. Okay, it does work. So if you guys want to try it, have at it. Just understand that I cut this utilizing the DX. I'll have to see what the settings would be in the CM as I cut my next layer, because I'm going to cut one that's going to sit on the outside, so almost like a shadow layer of this. And I will see what the settings are for that and how many passes I have to set it to get through the 10 mil, not millimeters, but mils of mylar. Okay, and this is super thick stuff. This is why I wanted it. This is why I liked it, because it's gonna hold up to my stenciling in my house with all the man stuff that goes on here and how they don't take care of anything. Alright guys, if you have any questions, you can find me over at ScanNCut Canvas and Scal Help on Facebook. Alright, have a great day.